Hi there, it's Tammy with It's All About the Dogs, and I'm here again with Noelle Blair, Positive Directions Canine Academy, and today we're going to be talking about martingale collars. What's the proper way to fit and use a martingale collar? And we have Gemma that's going to be our lovely spokesmodel today.
Yes, Gemma.
Woohoo!
So, I don't know if you guys can see, but I got lots of collars here. All
What's
of
the
them.
purpose of a martingale?
So, the purpose of a martingale is control. When you are working with a dog or you're training your dog, control comes through the head, not through the body. And so the higher up on the neck the collar sits and the more reactive the collar is, the more responsive the dog's going to be to gentle tapping on the leash, that kind of thing. So it's really important that we have a collar that fits correctly. And martingales are probably right up there as far as my top 3 favorite collars that are available to purchase right now. Martingales come in a variety of sizes and styles. So I want to show you some of the top ones and kind of go over the pros and cons of each design.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so the first design that you guys might find are the types like these. These are all made out of fabric, and they come, as you can see, I've got a little tiny one here for itty bitty dogs. I've got a medium-sized one here for medium-sized dogs, and then I've got a big one for bigger dogs. Now, the way that this works is most martingale collars are actually one piece, which means you've got to make it small enough for the neck but big enough to go over the head, which creates a problem because most dogs have skulls that are bigger than their necks. So
That's hard.
once you get it over the head,
Yeah.
then it's sliding up and down, and then you're having to deal with it getting into the trachea area. Now, when you fit a collar, the most important thing is that it fits underneath the jaw and not here on your dog's trachea. So there's a bump on the back of your dog's head, and that's a great spot to try to locate. If your collar's touching the back of that bump or that bone on the back of your dog's head, then you know that your collar's fitted correctly and you're not going to have to spend a lot of time adjusting it. And it shouldn't be touching the dog's trachea, which causes that cough when you're trying to walk your dog. Now,
And if you got it too loose, I've seen a lot of people that have this on this top part,
Mhm.
and that's not good for them. Why?
well, I don't think it really matters where the collar comes out on these so much as it matters how responsive the collar is, okay? So this type of collar, when you put it on your dog, I want you to be able to see how responsive that is. There's not a lot of give and take. This does not go back into and fit against the dog's neck.
Gotcha, okay.
So when you're communicating through the leash, you're going to have to use more pressure or more torque or pull. Okay? And I like to have a light, easy, gentle touch with my dog. I believe it should take a minimum amount of effort to create a maximum result. We shouldn't have to be manhandling, pulling, popping, and jerking these dogs around. So this one is going to encourage your dog to possibly be out in front of you a little bit more because they're not going to hear that you want them to stop quite as quickly as some of these other models that I'm going to show you. So this is a one piece and it's all made out of fabric, and as you saw, they come in multiple sizes. The next one that I'm going to show you, this is another one piece, but the difference between the 3 that I just showed you and this one is that this one's going to be more responsive. So as you can see, when I pull up on this, it tightens and releases very easily. Now, when I put this over my dog's head, this is still too big and it's sliding up and down, and there's no way to adjust this except by reaching around then once I've got it on the dog's neck and pulling it tight, and then when I want to take it off, I'm going to have to readjust in order to get it off of my dog's neck. Now, like I said, it doesn't really matter whether the leash is attached here or on the other side of the dog's neck. And I want to show you here how responsive this collar is compared to the last one that I just showed you. So as you're walking along, you see this one stays in place a lot easier. It's not going to slide up and down. The leash goes right here. There's not a lot of space between the neck and the dog's collar, and just this slight touch, I'm getting more of a reaction just by this light touch than I was when I had on the one that was made out of all fabric. So I'm going to make this big again, take it off. And then the 2 that I'm going to show you next, these are my favorites. I have one that's made out of nylon, one that's made out of leather. And the reason that I like these is these are 2-piece. So the one that's made out of the cotton webbing actually has a buckle or a snap on it. So you can open it up, place it around the dog's neck, size it. So when you size, you're gonna have the dog's head up, and what I want to see is how much do I need to take up. So as you can see, I've got several inches here that I need to adjust in order to make this collar fit correctly. So what you're gonna wanna do is reach around then and tighten this up so that I have more control over the dog. The other one that I want to show you is the leather one, and the way this one works is it's got a little snap on it. These are actually made by a lady here in town, and if you're interested in purchasing these, she custom makes them, and she will make them in any size and color that you want, and she does great work, so you know that this is going to fit. So you're going to put this over the dog's head, you're going to attach it on the back of the dog's neck, and then the collar, excuse me, is right up behind the back of my dog's neck, touching that bump. It is underneath my dog's throat, so her trachea actually starts right here. So I'm above the trachea, so when we go for walks, she's not gonna be coughing and sputtering and
I know
Okay.
a lot of people have this question too. They're afraid to make this too tight. I've seen that, and I've heard people say, oh, it's too tight, but
Yeah.
it's not really the case with this kind of collar, correct?
It's not. As you can see, she's not struggling for breath. She's not full of anxiety. She's not scared that she's got this collar on, and she's not worried that it's sitting up here. In fact, this is more comfortable for her than one that's sitting down here. If it's down here, they have a tendency to scratch more. So when you go for walks, your dog's constantly stopping and scratching. And like I said, you're never gonna come in contact with that trachea. The reason people go for harnesses is because they're worried about hurting the trachea. So that is the big thing when you're fitting a collar above the trachea, touching the spot on the back of the dog's head, and the collar should fit correctly. The less you have to adjust the collar, the better. We're gonna go over more and more as we go through this series of how to pick the right collar for you. Again, Martingale's top 3 of the collars that we recommend. Absolutely love them. If you're gonna get them, try to find a 2-piece and make sure that it fits as tight as possible. We wanna be able to fit maybe 1 finger underneath, not 2, 3, or 4. The more fingers you fit in, the looser the fit, and the more you're gonna have problems with it moving up and down, and you're gonna constantly be adjusting.
Awesome, great.
Awesome.
Thanks, Noelle. Please stay tuned for our next video on how to choose the right collar for your dog, right?
Right?
All right, thanks, and have a great day. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you want more from Noelle, go to Positive Directions Canine Academy. Her website is down below in the description, and we'd love to see you at class.
Alrighty.
Have a great day.
Thank you.